What's up, y'all? This your boy Nick IT40. Back with another video today. I want to thank y'all for giving the British Bulldog just some love. You know what I'm saying? Came here with another banger today. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I want to give y'all. I guess it's gonna be a mini series because I can't record everything all at once. You know, especially on my phone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know I need that line to edit on my laptop to record on it. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into the video, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give the big man above some love. Lord Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, won't be no me, won't be no page, won't be no y'all. You know what I'm saying? But the mini series that we starting today, one of the greatest wrestling icons ever. You know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon brainchild. Where he went from phenom, first the Western dressing first, you know what I'm saying? To phenom, rebirth, to American badass. You know what I'm saying? And the man that I'm talking about is The Undertaker. If you're new to the page, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. So I will put it in the WCW stuff, but I'm just gonna speed it up to the WWE because don't nobody remember the WCW run like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're new to the page, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. So we'll start with his early WWE run. So in 1991 at Survivor Series, he was the mystery partner of Ted DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? He was the mystery man. You know what I'm saying? Vince had built this character because Undertaker thought he was gonna be the great goobler, whatever you want to call it, thing like the little egg thing. He thought Vince was gonna do him like that. But he was really happy that Vince gave him a new character. You know what I'm saying? But let's get right back into it. Undertaker debuted at Survivor Series 1990, where he was presented as Ted DiBiase, mystery partner. 1 minute into the match, Undertaker had eliminated Koko B. Ware with his finishing move, the Tombstone Piledriver. The funny part is, it's right here. It's right here. I ain't gonna see it. So, Koko B. Ware shared that directly following the match that he confronted the Undertaker with a serious objections that what he felt was a botched tombstone. Though, you know, and Undertaker brought this up on his podcast too. You know what I'm saying? Though Ware, Koko B. Ware shared that he always admired Mark Calaway as perceived him as a great performer. But during the match, cause they had a confrontation. So if you want to watch it, go watch Undertaker podcast when he mentioned it. But during the match, Undertaker had eliminated Dusty Rhodes before being counted out. But however, his team had won the match and Ted DiBiase was the sole survivor. But during the match, Calaway was simply referred to Undertaker, you know what I'm saying, because they had to remove the, first he was Kane the Undertaker, then they removed it off his name, you know what I'm saying. And we know who Kane turned out to be, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get that down the line. But throughout 1990, Undertaker picked up victories against jobbers and, you know, doing, you know, Superstars of Wrestling and challenge tapings and stuff like that. But he was a participant in the 1991 Royal Rumble match, which was won by Hulk Hogan, of course. But in February 1991, Brother Love delegated his short-lived management role, which was Bruce Pritchard of The Undertaker, over to Paul Bearer, a real-life funeral director, you know what I'm saying, because Bruce Pritchard didn't want to be on the road like that. Love communicating the need of someone who's better aligned with The Undertaker, dead man. It's when the duo was born. You know, historic, welling, ghostly character. Bearer complimented Undertaker and was always seeing burn and earn, which he raised in the earth to transmit supernatural healing powers to the Undertaker, to typically result in Undertaker recovering from attacks and counterattacking his adversaries. You know what I'm saying? During his early years, Undertaker took a post-match ritual of placing his defeated opponents, which was jobbers, of course, in a body bag, carried them backstage. But he continued to pick up victories, leading up to his first feud which was Jimmy Fly Snuka, which he dethroned at WrestleMania. But he didn't right here. 1991, the beginning of one of the greatest streaks in wrestling history. Undertaker made his WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania 7 on March 24th, 1991, which we already know, Warrior and Macho Man stole the show. Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter was alright, but just for that. But after defeating Jimmy Fly Snuka brutally, he began his first major feud shortly after with the Ultimate Warrior. Well, Undertaker had attacked him and locked him in an airtight casket on the set of Paul Bearer funeral parlor program. This one probably, welcome to my funeral parlor. All that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be lit. You feel me? But, so, the Undertaker had attacked Ultimate Warrior, lock him in the airtight casket on the set. Resulting from this, Warrior enlisted the assistance of Jake the Snake Roberts. This is when Jake the Snake was playing mind games with Tucker right here. So Warrior had got the assistance of Jake the Snake Roberts. You know what I'm saying? To get him in a mentally psyched for the Undertaker morbid or missed tactics. Roberts will drill the Warrior with your enemy training, setting up Warrior in a series of creepy, terrorizing circumstances, such as locking him in a casket and in a room full of snakes. But at the final stage of Roberts' training, Roberts proved strangling Warrior along the entire time by the assistance of Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? In the ambush. Undertaker would later suffer his first loss to the Ultimate Warrior, including a first ever body bag match, a casket match at a house show, and a standard pinfall. The feud would, however, cut short after Warrior got suspended and he had ongoing issues with Vince McMahon. So we already know that, you know what I'm saying? But in 1991 King of the Ring, Undertaker defeated Animal in a qualifying match before fighting Sid Vicious to a double disqualification in the semi-finals, which saw both men get eliminated from King of the Ring tournament. But then we had the big break, which was this one Hulk Hogan was capping like my man had injured him just to get the belt back. You know what I'm saying? Talking about he tombstone on his neck, but he didn't. So Undertaker defeated Hulk Hogan to win his Survivor Series WWF Championship match at Survivor Series with the help of Ric Flair. He became the youngest WWF champion in history at this point. He was 26 years old. The record was, of course, broken by his best friend Yokozuna in WrestleMania 10. Undertaker tombstone the WWF champion. Undertaker tombstone of Hogan to win the WWF Championship at Survivor Series created a real-life off-screen discord between the two, which I just brought up. If y'all go watch Undertaker podcast, he explained the situation. He feel like Hogan was full of crap and he did him dirty just for him to get the belt back. So, which Undertaker attributes to a short title reign and a lack of title runs during his early career in distrust of Hogan. In the storyline, however, Jack Tunney ordered a rematch between the two at Texas and Tuesday 6 days later, where The Undertaker lost the title back to Hogan, but however, due to controversy ending of the two title matches, the title was later vacated from Hogan the next night by Jack Tunney. The company, without a WWF champion until of course, Ric Flair won the 1992 Royal Rumble match. Then, of course, him and Jake had the fallout. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a dangerous duo terrorizing Macho Man. Because if y'all remember SummerSlam 1991, character-wise, because by that time they ran Savage and Liz was already divorced. But character-wise, Liz and Macho Man had got married. You know what I'm saying? And they got married. And you know what I'm saying? Undertaker and Jake the Snake had terrorized them for a minute. And Jake the Snake was teasing Macho Man, because Macho Man at that point was retired. You know what I'm saying? And they had their little physical rivalry because I think Jack Tunney had reinstated Macho Man Randy Savage in 1991. I think they had a match at Tuesday, and Macho Man won. And you know, that's when Jake had slapped. You know what I'm saying? This will lead to this. So they had they found it. You know, this when Jake and Macho Man had they found an encounter right here in February 1992. Undertaker ally Jake the Snake tried to attack Macho Man Randy Savage, manager of wife with a steel chair, but the dead man had stopped him. You know what I'm saying? So the face turn was already solidified on February 29th episode of Superstars when Roberts confronted the Undertaker. So the Undertaker came at the cast that he was looking for him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and Jake was like, "Hey man, whose side you on?" And that's when the dead man said, "Not yours." I can't do the eye thing, but get my point. So that's when Jake had attacked Paul Bearer on set, hit him with the DDT, tried to talk to Undertaker, but Undertaker was still getting the superpowers coming up to him. So yeah, so where was it? Oh yeah, so Ferris he confronted him. He stopped Jake from hitting Elizabeth, turned on Paul Bearer, and it was Undertaker's first time being the face. So it was a solidified, you know what I'm saying, that the face turn was happening on February 29th episode of Superstars, where Roberts confronted The Undertaker on the funeral parlor set over the matter, which aired on Saturday Night Main Event. After demanding to know whose side he on, I just did that right there. I'm tripping. The Undertaker was on getting a reply, "Not yours." Boom. So Roberts attacked both Barrett and Undertaker, only for the Undertaker to stand his ground and run Roberts off. But at the infamous Manslaughter WrestleMania, Undertaker defeated Roberts at WrestleMania 8. Yeah, 8. Then he started feuding excessively with wrestlers managed by Harvey Wilberman throughout 1992 and 1993, such as Kamala and the Giant Gonzalez. So you gotta remember, so him and Kamala had the big battle at SummerSlam, which from what I heard, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if it's true or not, but they did do my boy dirty, like I said in the Kamala episode. That's messed up. So they paid Undertaker like $400,000. I think Kamala got paid like $30,000, $10,000. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they had the infamous ending of their feud with Kamala at Survivor Series in a coffin match, which Undertaker won. So, and plus, we all know what they would say now. Undertaker didn't like working with Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? He feel like it took years off his career. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm saying right now. So according to Calloway, working with Gonzalez was survival every night, trying to figure out what could he do. You know what I'm saying? It took years off my career. So we all know that match was trash. So he faced Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 10, which was notable as The Undertaker had won by disqualification, him using some alcohol stuff or whatever. During this time, Undertaker had headlined the Monday Night Raw on January 11, 1993, where he defeated Demento. So we all know how the Giant Gonzalez feud started. Undertaker was in the Royal Rumble. He destroyed them, and they were just building up from that point. You know what I'm saying? Which was it sounded like a good idea, but bad execution. Because it was only so much you can do with Giant Gonzalez. I think Giant Gonzalez was like 7'5", 7'6", and we all know Undertaker ain't number like 6'11", 6'10" at the most. You know what I'm saying? Probably weighed 280 pounds, 300 pounds. So there's only so much you can do at that point. The Undertaker next rivalry came with Yokozuna when the clash between the two lost control, causing them to be counted out in elimination tag. So y'all remember the promo? I think Yokozuna, him and Jim Cornette, Mr. Fuji were talking. You know what I'm saying? Running their mouth. Undertaker pop up. He said, "Hey, you bring that belt and you bring your soul and you meet me on the dark side." And they started building it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, they got counted out in the elimination tag match. This one, Undertaker had teamed up with the Steiner brothers. He teamed up with the Steiner brothers and Lex Luger. You know what I'm saying? I guess the Foreign Fanatics, which was Yokozuna, Ludwig Boga, Crush. I'm trying to remember the rest. I think it was the Quebecers. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, in the following weeks, Undertaker and Power Bear spooked Yokozuna with multiple segments in Whitney and remote rural area workshops. They were Power Bear presented Undertaker hard work carpenting, but carpenting Yokozuna what will eventually become a double wide, double deep casket custom built for the champion Yokozuna, who's because he was overweight and stuff like that. But the feud ended in a casket match at the Royal Rumble in January 1994. During the match, Yoko sealed the Undertaker in the casket thanks to assistance of multiple superstars of heel wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them was, of course, Harvey Whippleman Man. You know what I'm saying? That was hired by Yokozuna manager Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji. But which was a retaliation for Power Bear casket. But you had the crazy segment where from the casket the lights went out and Undertaker then appeared inside of the casket of the video screen, representing the spirit of dead corpse. Man, that was crazy. And I'm gonna leave it at that, dog. Warning that he would produce a future rebirth of himself, explaining to his antagonist that he cannot and he will not rest in peace. This one Undertaker had to take some time off, you know what I'm saying? And he had took some time off and he took some time off, heal from his back injuries and stuff like that. And plus, his oldest son was born at the time. Okay, so we're gonna read right here, and then we're gonna stop right here. You know what I'm saying? Alright. So following the death angle at the Royal Rumble during Undertaker absence, the WWE promoted a report site of him, though the video clip was just random people claiming to have seen him. After WrestleMania 10, Ted DiBiase introduced a fake Undertaker, which was Brian Lee. And I think him and Brian Lee was cool, but I'm not sure. I just know I remember they had a falling out. I think Brian Lee allegedly supposed to did something with my boy wife. Allegedly. So I guess his first wife, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so Ted DiBiase introduced an Undertaker back to the WWE, except, however, it was a fake Undertaker. Brian Lee, which is his real life best friend, was an imposter and dubbed by Undertaker by fans. Rejuvenated by DiBiase money rather than Paul Bear earned. His actions led to the return of the real Undertaker at SummerSlam. The feline imposter and appearing as a reincarnation of the dead man gimmick. One of more shadowy, mysterious. Secret presence represented now by cool colors. He had purple. At first he had gray. Then he came back with that purple. You know what I'm saying? So the Undertaker replaced details of his rationing gear with, like I said, purple, and affected scenes with a black and purple semi-darkness. Detailed that it will become associated with the Undertaker remainder of his career, where produced during rebirth incarnations such as sleeve tattoos, godlike supernatural elements, thunder, lightning, windy weather, effects. But he wanted revenge, and he revisited his feud with Yokozuna, where Yokozuna and eventually faced him in a casket rematch. With the Chuck Norris, portraying himself as Walker, Texas Ranger, where he was involved as the special enforcer, prevent interference from the wrestlers and Yokozuna. During the casket match, but he was unable to try to do that because this time around the IRS, and I ain't talking about Uncle Sam. Well, his character was kind of Uncle Sam, but he had ambushed The Undertaker due to Chuck Norris being distracted by several field wrestlers, which was Bam Bam Bigelow, King Kong Bundy, and Jeff Jarrett. You know what I'm saying? But he still defeated Yokozuna and got the dub. And we didn't see Yokozuna until WrestleMania 11. But mostly throughout 1995, Undertaker feuded with most members of the Ted DiBiase $1 Million Corporation. The chain of wrestler DiBiase enlisted to do away with Undertaker started with RS at the Royal Rumble. But he defeated him. Trash. Then along came King Kong Bundy. And that match was trash. And I think Undertaker defeated him with a clothesline, with a body slam, something. He couldn't get him up at the tombstone. But, you know what I'm saying? Because I think King Kong Bundy had sold Undertaker at the Royal Rumble. And like I said, he defeated that boy WrestleMania. So at that point, Undertaker was probably like 3-0, 4-0 or something. They were 3-0. But, like I said, at WrestleMania 11, Undertaker made short work of King Kong Bundy. The addition of WrestleMania included the first mention of the WrestleMania undefeated streak, acknowledged by Vince McMahon, as Undertaker made his entrance. Undertaker was on his way to the ring, a man who never lost during the Undertaker WrestleMania encounter. But DiBiase issued him yet another antagonist, Undertaker homeboy, this one, right here, who had stolen the Undertaker urn, recycling it to bling. While spotting the flashy bling around his neck, he repeatedly cost Undertaker matches and attacked the diehard Undertaker fans, dubbed as creatures of the night. But in 1995 SummerSlam, Undertaker suffered a serious in August, Undertaker set up the score, defeating Kama. He defeated Kama at SummerSlam. But several weeks later, after the fact, Undertaker suffered a serious I guess he broke his nose. When King Mabel. The fun fact about King Mabel, Undertaker made sure my boy joined the Ministry of Darkness, because he was like, I'd rather work with him by my side than working with him, because Mabel was stiff and he was hurting folks. You know what I'm saying? But he had suffered some bone injury. King Mabel unintentionally struck him in the eye with his fist during a house show, forcing the Undertaker into a period of abstinent surgery. I thought it was a little leg drop thing, but due to the incident happening at house show, Vince McMahon had it presented to the audience, though, that it had occurred from Mabel and Yokozuna dropping leg drop and splashes on Monday Night Raw that had aired 2 days prior. Undertaker returned a couple of months later in Survivor Series, which he single-handedly eliminated the entire team of wrestlers led by Mabel. Undertaker leading his own team to victory. It was a Survivor Series return when he began wearing a Phenom opera. Man, that mask was fresh as hell, no cap. It was a gray upper face mask safeguard, for his face wide heel. Man, that man did a lot for Vince. My boy didn't get no rest, except for 7 months the previous year. But then the following month of December, Undertaker defeated Mabel in a casket match, retrieving the urn which had been traded between several Undertaker antagonists over the year. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, he was the #1 contender for Bret Hart. This when him and Diesel had beef after In Your House. So, alright, so in the main event of the Royal Rumble in 1996, with the Undertaker unmasked from the light facial covering in the WWF Championship match against Bret Hart, Undertaker was eventually able to hit the tombstone and finna get the dub. But Diesel came back and cost him the championship in a no DQ. But a rematch for Bret Hart title was between Diesel and in a similar fashion. Because you remember, in Survivor Series, Bret Hart had defeated Diesel in a classic Survivor Series match. But at that month in your house, Rage in the Cage, Diesel was trying to get was facing Bret Hart in a steel cage match for the WWE Championship. But except The Undertaker delivered a surprise attack emerging from the hole where he ripped through the ring canvas and dragged Diesel from down under, allowed Bret Hart to get the dub to focus on Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. After several weeks of more up mansmanship between the two, Diesel and Undertaker feud ended at WrestleMania 12 with Undertaker defeating Big Daddy Cool. But shortly after that, he met his match the following night. The twisted, sadistic Mick Foley, a tormented soul, made his debut, randomly interfering in the Undertaker match against John Bradshaw Layfield. But for the next few months, Mankind was ambushing Undertaker and costing him matches, including this match right here. Among them, Mankind cost The Undertaker the Intercontinental Championship by interfering in his casting match with Goldust at In Your House 8, Beware of the Dog. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that weird ass segment with Goldust, Undertaker. And I was telling my homeboy the other day when I was talking about this, I said, bro, have you noticed Undertaker and Goldust never had another match? So if y'all remember, I'm gonna put the screenshot here anyway. I guess he's on top of Undertaker trying to rub the man, get freaky with him and all that. And Undertaker like he wanted to beat bro for real. You know what I'm saying? I think he said Goldust probably took it too far. So that's a fun fact. Undertaker had Mankind interfering in the casting match at In Your House, Beware the Dog. Interfering in the match, Mankind proved it to have mystifying horror tactics capable that matched The Undertaker, mysteriously appearing from the casket, sealing The Undertaker in the casket. The Undertaker, however, had vanished in the amateur clouds of smoke, and the casket lid was open. As a result of the interference and repeated ambushes from Mankind on The Undertaker throughout the ensuing weeks, Undertaker and Mankind competed in a first on-screen match at King of the Ring in a heated encounter, which Undertaker presented as uncharacteristically intense. During the match, Undertaker had Paul Bearer inadvertently hit Undertaker with the urn, allowed Mankind to get the dub and him with the Manimal Claw. Then, of course, they set up the score. After more than 20 minutes brawling with Mankind in the Cleveland Gun Arena in the Boiler Room, the arena court is the SummerSlam entrance in the aisleway, Undertaker reached the ring to try to get the urn in the Boiler Room brawl match to get the dub. But then he was betrayed by his father figure, Paul Bearer. This followed by Bearer allowing Mankind to take hold of the urn to get the dub. So according to Paul Bearer and shoot interviews, WWF wanted Bearer to betray Undertaker during the match because it was a storyline that that they wanted the Undertaker to get ready for an angle with his brother the following year, having Bearer turn on him. And it was also around this time that fans was getting tired of the urn given, and the original plan was for Undertaker. The original plan was for Undertaker and Bearer to turn here during the Boiler Room brawl match and having Mankind turn face. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. I'm with you, Undertaker and Paul Bearer. That wouldn't have worked. So, after Paul Bearer betrayal, The Undertaker grew more aggressive and resolving the feud against Goldust, Mankind comrade, tormenting The Undertaker at In Your House 10 Mind Games. The Undertaker then took his rival with Mankind to new lengths of the match that was unprecedented, a Buried Alive match that took place in the main event of In Your House Buried Alive. The Undertaker had won the match after chokeslamming Mankind into the open grave, so subsequently shoving enough dirt on him so that it was covered. But however, after the interference of the Executioner, as well as the help of 7 wrestlers, heel wrestlers apparently enlisted by Paul Bearer. Mankind escaped, and together the mob shoveled the dirt onto the Undertaker and uh point that the grave was completely filled, resulting in Undertaker. You know, when they had the infamous scene that my boy had his hand out the dirt. You know what I'm saying? And resulting in Undertaker they were fully buried alive without purring a message for the pack. However, the Undertaker purple glove fitted emerged from his buried alive bolts lightning that erupted. This Vince had the famous comment, if you know, you know. But we're gonna stop right here. That's part 1. Part 2, we're gonna get into the Lord of Darkness. Hey man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Keep God first, bro. And fellas, if you got mental tattoos, bro, you need help, man, go to a therapist, talk to somebody. Hey man, we all here together, man. So we out. With that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.